Most people wake up every morning already defeated. They check their phone, they scroll, they compare, and they wonder why they feel empty before the day even starts. The truth: you've been programming your mind with the wrong language. Today, we're gonna fix that. I'm gonna share with you 4 powerful things to tell yourself every single morning so you can take control of your life, crush fear, and step into the unstoppable version of you. Most people wake up every single day and immediately give away their power. The alarm clock goes off, and instead of owning the moment, they hit snooze. Instead of stepping into control, they let their phone decide their mood. They scroll through social media, they see someone else's highlight reel, and instantly their emotions shift. Jealousy, comparison, doubt, and stress creep in before they've even brushed their teeth. And then they wonder why the rest of the day feels heavy, why it feels like they're reacting instead of creating. But here's the truth: the very first thing you must do each morning is remind yourself, I am in control of my life and my emotions. That statement isn't just words. It's not some feel-good affirmation you repeat half-heartedly. It's a declaration. It's a line in the sand. When you say it with power, when you breathe life into it, you shift from being a victim of circumstance to being the master of your reality. Because make no mistake, if you don't control your emotions, something else will. If you don't take charge of your focus, the world will happily distract you. If you don't decide who you're going to be today, the patterns of yesterday will decide for you. Now think about it. How many times have you let one text message, one email, one person's opinion completely hijack your day? Maybe someone cut you off in traffic, and suddenly you're carrying anger for hours. Maybe you woke up to bills on the counter, and instantly stress and worry became your emotional home. Maybe a boss, a partner, or a stranger said something that triggered you, and before you knew it, you were giving them control over how you felt. But here's the breakthrough: nobody has that power unless you hand it to them. Nobody gets to control your emotional state unless you surrender it. When you claim, I am in control of my life and my emotions, you are taking back the steering wheel. You're saying, I decide how I feel. I decide how I respond. I decide the quality of my day. Understand this: emotions are the invisible force that shapes every decision you make. When you're angry, you make different choices than when you're calm. When you're fearful, you hesitate instead of acting. When you're inspired, you move with certainty. Emotions dictate the direction of your life more than logic ever will. That's why controlling your emotions is not optional. It's everything. You can have all the strategies, all the opportunities, all the intelligence in the world, but if your emotions run wild, you'll sabotage yourself. If you can master your emotions, you can master anything. So what does this really mean? It means every morning you must set your state before the world does. You don't just wake up and hope to feel good. You condition it, you create it, you command it, and it starts by claiming ownership of your mind. Instead of saying, I hope today goes well, you say, today goes the way I decide it goes. Instead of, I hope I feel good, you say, I choose to feel good. I choose to feel grateful. I choose to feel powerful. Because emotions don't happen to you, they are generated by you. But here's the kicker: most people live like emotions are accidents. They think, well, I woke up sad, so I must be sad. I woke up tired, so I guess that's just my day. No, you are not your feelings. You are not your fleeting states. You are the creator of them. You are the source. And the moment you recognize that, you unlock freedom. You stop waiting for the world to make you happy, and you start generating happiness from within. Let me tell you something: your body and mind are wired for patterns. If every morning you wake up and let stress take over, guess what becomes your emotional home? Stress. If every morning you allow anxiety to lead, your brain hardwires anxiety as normal. But the opposite is also true. If you wake up and deliberately claim strength, gratitude, certainty, and love, your nervous system starts to accept those emotions as your new baseline. And soon enough, confidence becomes your home, peace becomes your home, power becomes your home. That's why this statement, I am in control of my life and my emotions, isn't just a phrase, it's training. It's reprogramming your mind to operate differently. Think about a thermostat in your house. If you set the thermostat to 72 degrees, the system will fight to maintain that temperature. If the room gets cold, the heat kicks in. If the room gets too hot, the air conditioning adjusts. Your emotions work the same way. If you set your emotional thermostat to stress, no matter what happens, you'll find a way to stress. If you set it to peace, no matter the chaos, you'll find a way to center yourself. You are the one setting the thermostat every morning with the language you choose and the focus you direct. Now let me ask you, what would your life look like if you stopped letting circumstances control your emotions? What if instead of being thrown around by every problem, You decided how you would feel and act in the face of those problems. What if instead of waiting for someone else to inspire you, you woke up and inspired yourself? What if instead of reacting to everything, you started creating everything? That is the power of this declaration. But make no mistake, this isn't about ignoring reality. This isn't about pretending everything's perfect when it's not. It's about mastering your response to reality. You can acknowledge challenges without letting them control you. You can feel fear without letting it stop you. You can experience pain without letting it define you. That's true control, not suppressing emotions but directing them, not denying them but deciding what you will do with them. And here's the truth. You already know what it feels like to lose control of your emotions. Everyone does. Maybe you said something in anger that you regret. Maybe you missed an opportunity because fear kept you paralyzed. Maybe you let sadness keep you in bed when you needed to get up and move. We've all been there. But the question is, are you going to keep living that way? Or are you going to draw the line today and say, no more? From this moment, I take back control. I set the tone. I decide how I feel, and I decide what I do. When you start living this way, you become unshakable. Someone insults you, but you don't crumble. You choose strength. Something goes wrong, but you don't collapse. You choose resilience. The world throws chaos at you, but you don't lose yourself. You choose certainty. That's what it means to live with emotional control. You stop being at the mercy of the external world and start building an internal world so strong, so grounded, that nothing can break it. And the beauty of this is, it's available to you right now. You don't need money to control your emotions. You don't need status. You don't need permission. All you need is the awareness and the choice. The awareness that you are not your emotions, and the choice to direct them instead of being directed by them. So when you wake up tomorrow morning, before you do anything else, breathe in deep and declare with certainty, I am in control of my life and my emotions. Don't whisper it. Don't mumble it. Own it. Feel it in your chest, in your bones, in your soul. Because the moment you declare it with power, your mind begins to believe it. Your nervous system begins to align with it. Your entire being begins to operate from that truth. Every single one of us has moments where life hits harder than we expected. We get blindsided by a loss, a failure, a setback, or an obstacle that feels overwhelming. And in that moment, the mind wants to scream, why me? Why now? Why does this always happen to me? But here's the truth you need to hear. Life is not happening to you. Life is happening for you. Every single challenge that shows up in your life is not here to punish you. It's here to shape you. Every problem you face is a gift in disguise, an opportunity wrapped in pain, a teacher disguised as struggle. And when you truly embrace this, when you wake up each day and say, every challenge is an opportunity for growth, you stop seeing problems as walls and start seeing them as doors. Think about the most powerful moments of growth in your life. They didn't come from comfort. They didn't come when everything was easy. They came from times when you were pushed to your limit, when you were forced to dig deeper, when you had to discover strength inside yourself that you didn't even know existed. The muscle only grows when it is challenged. Steel is only forged in fire. Diamonds are only formed under pressure, and human beings are the same. We only become our strongest selves when life forces us to grow through struggle. Now, most people don't see it that way. Most people believe challenges mean something is wrong. They think, if I'm struggling, I must be failing. If it's hard, I must not be good enough. That belief is poison because it keeps you stuck in victim mode. But here's the shift. The moment you start to believe that challenges are not curses but opportunities, your entire life changes. Suddenly, the obstacle is no longer a reason to quit. It's the very reason you must continue. Suddenly, the pain is no longer something to avoid, it's something to use. Suddenly, failure is no longer an identity, it's just feedback, a lesson pointing you toward growth. You've got to understand, nothing great was ever created without resistance. The Wright brothers faced years of failure before they made the first flight. Thomas Edison didn't stumble upon the light bulb in one try. He discovered 1,000 ways it didn't work. Every great athlete, every great entrepreneur, every great leader has been forged by challenge, and the same is true for you. The question isn't whether challenges will come, they will. The question is how you're going to respond when they show up. Are you going to see them as roadblocks, or are you going to see them as stepping stones? Here's something powerful: the challenges you're facing right now are preparing you for the future you say you want. You've been asking for strength, but life doesn't just hand you strength, it gives you challenges that build strength. You've been asking for patience, but life doesn't just drop patience into your lap, it gives you situations that test your patience. You've been asking for success, but success doesn't come gift wrapped, It comes hidden behind setbacks, failures, and obstacles that demand you grow into the person capable of achieving it. Every single thing you're facing is the training ground for your destiny. But here's where most people get it wrong. They fight the challenge instead of embracing it. They resist the lesson instead of learning it. They complain about the weight instead of using it to get stronger. And that's why they stay stuck. That's why the same problems keep showing up again and again, because life will keep sending the same lesson until you learn it. But the moment you decide, I will no longer run from challenges, I will face them, I will learn from them, I will grow because of them, your entire life begins to transform. Now let's talk about fear, because fear always shows up when challenges arrive. Fear whispers that you're not enough. Fear tells you to play it safe. Fear tries to convince you to quit before you even begin. But fear is not a stop sign, it's a signal. Fear shows you exactly where the growth is. Fear points to the edge of your comfort zone, and that's where life begins. If you lean into fear instead of running from it, you'll discover courage, resilience, and confidence on the other side. The challenge that scares you most is the very one that will grow you most. And don't forget this, every time you overcome a challenge and you expand your capacity, you raise your standard, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you believed. Think back to something you once thought was impossible, something that terrified you, something you didn't think you could handle, but you did. You survived, you grew. And now that very thing that once felt impossible is just normal. That's the cycle of growth. What once felt overwhelming becomes easy. What once felt like it would break you becomes the foundation of your strength. That's how life works if you're willing to see challenges as opportunities. There's a reason some people crumble under pressure while others rise. It's not because life is easier for them. It's because they've trained themselves to see differently. They've conditioned their mind to ask better questions. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? They ask, what is this teaching me? How can I grow from this? How can I use this? That one shift, those better questions, turn challenges into fuel instead of chains. So let me ask you, what challenge are you facing right now? Is it financial? Is it physical? Is it in your relationships? Is it in your business or career? Whatever it is, you have a choice. You can allow it to crush you, or you can allow it to sculpt you. You can see it as a dead end, or you can see it as a doorway. You can shrink back, or you can rise up. The challenge is not the enemy. The challenge is the invitation to step into the next version of yourself. And here's the beauty: when you embrace challenges as opportunities, you begin to realize that growth itself is the ultimate reward. The money, the success, the recognition, they're all temporary, but who you become in the process, the character you build, the resilience you develop, the wisdom you gain, that is permanent. That's the treasure you carry with you for the rest of your life. You are not defined by the challenges you face. You are defined by how you choose to respond to them. Every great story has a struggle, every hero has a battle, and every legend has scars. The scars don't make you weaker, they make you real. They make you relatable, they make you strong, and your challenges, the very ones you may be resenting right now, are shaping you into someone capable of writing a story that inspires others. So the next time life knocks you down, the next time you feel like giving up, remember this: that moment isn't the end, it's the beginning. That challenge isn't here to bury you, it's here to plant you, to grow you, to transform you. And the only question that matters is whether you'll let it. Gratitude is the ultimate power source. And most people wake up and immediately focus on what's missing, on what's wrong, on what they don't have. They think about the problems waiting for them, the bills on the counter, the arguments from yesterday, or the fears about tomorrow. And the second they do that, they drain their energy before the day even starts. But imagine beginning your morning with a completely different focus. Imagine waking up, taking a deep breath, and declaring with certainty, I am grateful for this moment, and I will make it count. That single shift changes everything, because gratitude is the antidote to fear, the destroyer of anger, and the foundation of fulfillment. When you live with gratitude, you see life differently. Suddenly, instead of focusing on what's wrong, you start seeing what's right. Instead of obsessing over what's missing, you begin to notice what's already there. Gratitude transforms problems into perspective. It takes the weight off your shoulders and puts power back in your heart. And when you pair gratitude with intention, when you not only appreciate this moment but also declare, I will make it count, you create momentum. You turn a simple day into a day of purpose. Think about it. Right now, as you're listening to these words, you have breath in your lungs. That's a gift. You have the ability to think, to choose, to move, to act. That's a gift. You have experiences, lessons, and even scars that shaped you into who you are today. That's a gift. Most of us take these simple things for granted. We overlook them because we're so focused on what we don't yet have. But gratitude opens your eyes. Gratitude reminds you that you're already standing on abundance, that you already have reasons to feel alive, reasons to smile, reasons to fight for more. And here's the key. Gratitude is not passive. It's not just saying thank you when something good happens. It's a state you create. It's a discipline you practice. It's a choice you make every single day. You don't wait for life to hand you something to be grateful for. You generate it by shifting your focus. And when you do that, your entire physiology changes. Science proves it. When you focus on gratitude, your brain releases dopamine and serotonin, the feel-good chemicals. Your stress hormones drop. Your immune system strengthens. Your energy rises. You literally rewire your brain to experience more joy, more creativity, more resilience. But gratitude by itself is not enough. Gratitude without action becomes complacency. That's why you must combine it with intention. That's why the second part of this declaration is just as powerful. I will make it count, because gratitude gives you perspective, but intention gives you direction. Gratitude makes you appreciate this moment, but intention makes you maximize it. And when you wake up every morning saying, I am grateful for this moment, and I will make it count, you're not just appreciating life, you're stepping into it. You're commanding it. You're making sure this day is not wasted. Now think about how most people live. They waste days. They scroll mindlessly. They complain about little things. They postpone their dreams for tomorrow. And then tomorrow becomes next week, next month, next year, until one day they look back and wonder where their life went. But when you live with gratitude and intention, you never waste the gift of a single day. You stop waiting for some perfect future moment and start living fully now. You stop saying, someday I'll be happy, and you start saying, today I choose happiness and I will create meaning. What does it mean to make it count? It means whatever you do today, do it with presence, do it with love, do it with energy. If you're with your family, don't just sit in the same room. Be there fully, listen deeply, give them your attention. If you're working, don't just go through the motions, bring passion, bring focus, bring excellence. If you're pursuing a goal, don't wait for motivation. Decide that your actions today matter, because they do. Every single action compounds, every choice builds momentum, and the person you become tomorrow is being shaped right now in the little decisions you make today. That's why you can't afford to drift through life unconsciously. You must grab hold of this moment and declare, I will make it count. And let's be real, you don't get an infinite number of days. Life is fragile. None of us are promised tomorrow. We act like we have forever, but we don't. There are people who went to bed last night and didn't wake up this morning. There are dreams buried in cemeteries because people thought they had more time. That's why gratitude is so urgent. That's why intention is so critical. Because when you realize how precious life is, you stop wasting it. You stop waiting for permission. You stop living like you've got all the time in the world, and you start living like every moment counts, because it does. Now imagine waking up every single day and living with that fire. Imagine opening your eyes, taking that first breath, and immediately shifting into gratitude. I am grateful for this moment. Instantly your heart opens, your stress dissolves, you feel alive. And then you add the second part, I will make it count. Instantly your focus sharpens, your energy rises, your day has meaning. You're no longer just existing, you're living deliberately. You're no longer waiting for the perfect conditions, you're creating them. Let's make it practical. The next time you wake up, instead of grabbing your phone, place your hand on your heart, take a deep breath, and think of 3 things you're grateful for right now. They don't have to be massive. It could be the roof over your head. It could be the fact that you're alive. It could be someone you love. Feel that gratitude fully. Let it fill you. And then ask yourself, how can I make today count? Maybe it's finally starting that project. Maybe it's making that call you've been avoiding. Maybe it's telling someone you love them. Maybe it's pushing yourself one step closer to your goal. Whatever it is, commit to it. Step into it. That's how you anchor gratitude with purpose. And here's the beautiful paradox. When you live this way, not only do you achieve more, but you also enjoy more. Because you're not chasing happiness someday, you're living it now. You're not waiting for things to be perfect. You're making the moment perfect through gratitude. You're not drifting aimlessly. You're directing your energy with intention. And that combination is unstoppable. Gratitude keeps you grounded. Intention keeps you moving forward. Together, they create a life of fulfillment and achievement. So the choice is yours. You can wake up and let the world decide how you feel. You can wake up and let fear, stress, and negativity dictate your state, or you can wake up and take command of your heart and mind. You can declare with certainty, I am grateful for this moment and I will make it count. Most people live their lives searching outside themselves for what they already have within. They think they need more education, more resources, more money, more connections, or more time before they can succeed. They tell themselves, when I get this, then I'll finally start. When I have that, then I'll finally feel ready. And so they wait, they postpone, they hold back. But let me tell you something, waiting is the biggest trap, because the truth is, you already have everything you need within you to succeed. It has always been there. The problem is not a lack of resources, the problem is a lack of resourcefulness. You see, success is not about having the perfect plan, the perfect timing, or the perfect circumstances. It's about your ability to adapt, to create, to push forward even when things are messy and uncertain. Every person you admire, every person who has built something extraordinary, started without knowing how it would all come together. They didn't have all the answers, they didn't have a guarantee, but they had belief, they had grit, they had the courage to step forward even when the path wasn't clear. And that's exactly what you have within you right now. Think about it. You've already survived things you once thought would break you. You've already overcome challenges that seemed impossible in the moment. You've already figured things out when the odds were stacked against you. And here you are, still standing, still breathing, still moving forward. That's proof. Proof that you already have resilience within you. Proof that you already have problem-solving ability. Proof that you already have strength. It's not a question of whether you have it. It's only a question of whether you'll access it. Here's the truth. Inside you, there is an untapped reservoir of courage, of creativity, of determination. But most people never use it. They let fear silence it. They let doubt bury it. They let society convince them they're not enough. And so they play small, not because they are small, but because they forget who they are. But the moment you decide to awaken what's already inside you, the moment you remember that you are built for more, everything changes. How many times have you told yourself, I'll start when I'm ready? But let me ask you, when is it ready? There is no perfect moment. Ready is not something you wait for. Ready is something you decide. You decide to trust yourself even when you don't know all the answers. You decide to take the leap even when the fear is loud. You decide to act, knowing that clarity comes from movement, not from waiting. And once you move, once you act, you prove to yourself that you already had what it took. Success is never about having the perfect conditions. If it were, nobody would succeed because conditions are rarely perfect. There will always be uncertainty. There will always be challenges. There will always be things you don't know yet. But the people who win are the ones who stop waiting for perfect conditions and start trusting their inner power. They say, I will figure it out along the way, and you can too. Because the strength to figure it out is already within you. You don't need someone else to tell you you're enough. You don't need someone else to validate you. You don't need a certificate, a title, or permission to start stepping into your greatness. You were born with everything you need to succeed: creativity, determination, resilience, and the ability to learn. Those are the real resources, and they are all within you right now. Now, you might say, but Tony, I don't have the money. I don't have the connections. I don't have the tools. Let me tell you something. Lack of resources is never the problem. Lack of resourcefulness is. Resourcefulness is the ultimate power. Resourcefulness is creativity. Resourcefulness is persistence. Resourcefulness is turning a no into a yes. Resourcefulness is finding a way when everyone else sees a dead end. And the moment you step into resourcefulness, you realize you don't need more. You just need to use what you already have. There's a reason why people who grow up with very little often build the most extraordinary lives. They didn't have resources, so they became resourceful. They didn't have guarantees, so they built resilience. They didn't have a safety net, so they found the courage to leap. And that same fire is in you. That same power is available to you the moment you stop focusing on what's missing and start focusing on what's already inside. Look back at history. Every great innovator, every leader, every creator faced a moment where they could have said, I don't have enough. But instead they said, I'll find a way. The Wright brothers didn't have money, but they had belief. Oprah Winfrey didn't have a perfect upbringing, but she had vision. Steve Jobs didn't have a degree, but he had relentless drive. They didn't wait for resources. They tapped into resourcefulness. And so can you. Inside of you, there's a power waiting to be unleashed. You don't have to go searching for it. You don't have to wait for someone to hand it to you. It's there right now in your mind, in your heart, in your spirit. You are stronger than you think. You are smarter than you believe. You are more capable than you give yourself credit for. And the only thing standing between you and the life you want is the belief that you already have everything you need to create it. So stop saying, "I'll start when I get more." Start now with what you have. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Start building with the tools in your hands. And stop doubting whether you're enough. You are enough right now. The same breath that woke you up this morning is the same proof that you have purpose, that you have potential, and that you have the power to create. And here's the secret. Once you take that step, once you trust yourself enough to move, you'll see that life starts opening doors you couldn't see before. Opportunities begin to appear, people begin to show up, solutions begin to reveal themselves. Not because they weren't there before, but because you weren't looking for them. The moment you step into action, you activate your inner power, and that power changes everything. So the next time you doubt yourself, the next time you hesitate, the next time you tell yourself you're not ready, remind yourself of this truth. You already have everything you need within you to succeed. You've just spoken 4 truths into your life that have the power to transform everything. You've declared that you are in control of your life and your emotions. You've chosen to see every challenge as an opportunity for growth. You've committed to living with gratitude and making every single moment count. And you've remembered that you already have everything you need within you to succeed. Now the real question is, what are you going to do with this? Because knowledge alone changes nothing. Words alone don't create transformation. It's what you do with them that matters. It's whether you wake up tomorrow morning and actually put this into practice. It's whether you speak these truths not just once, but over and over until they become the very fabric of who you are. Life doesn't reward those who wait. Life rewards those who decide. Decide today that you will no longer live as a prisoner of your circumstances. Decide today that you will no longer let fear, doubt, or excuses dictate your future. Decide today that you are going to own your mornings, because when you own your mornings, you own your life. And as you move forward, remember this: you are not broken. You are not lacking. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be, with everything you need already inside you, ready to be unleashed. So rise up. Step into the power that is already yours. Live with intention, live with gratitude. Face your challenges head on. And every single day, remind yourself of the truth. You are in control, you are growing, you are grateful, and you are already enough. This is your time. This is your life. Make it count.